Okay, hello Dominic.
Hi, Raphael.
Yeah, that's the first podcast of Wow Living. It's a new format. We start, I would say, on a weekly or monthly basis. We will see. In this podcast, we will talk about business-related topics, about the industry, about us, about upcoming projects, and
Service apartments.
service departments. Yeah,
Yes.
really important.
Our topic.
The main topic. Yeah.
Wow.
And today we start at the beginning. I would say the founding of Wow Living is really interesting. We can talk about this a lot. Then about my comeback in the industry. It's also something we have quickly talk about it. And in the end, we will see how it goes in Basel, our first project, which
Fantastic. Let's do it.
is running now for 5 months. I
Cool.
would say more or less. Yeah, let's start with the first topic. Dominic, you founded Wow Living last year. Was it last year? Can you tell me a little bit more about how this process went?
Yeah, of course. Founding Wow Living. Yeah, I think it was when was it? Nearly 1.5 years ago, like end of 2020. November, December, I founded, but until really something happened, it took a few months. So I would say we are nearly around 1 year, which I started, and yeah, so far it's going pretty well.
Okay, and I mean, founding a company. What's founding a company on the side of an entrepreneur? What was the first step? You sit down and you say, okay, now I'm doing it, or can you tell me a bit?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with my background. I mean, we have been together in the service department industry now for nearly 10 years. We have done a lot, and after I actually stopped my last job in 2019, I decided actually to do a 1 year off. And in this year, I tried a lot of things out. I even tried a job for a day, which didn't work out that well. But in this year, I just noticed day by day that I still really like the topic service departments. I know a lot about it. I have a big backpack. I have some money on the side, but I think I was just also a bit scared on founding alone and
Why
doing
alone?
everything.
Oh,
Well, I think it's just different. Like when you're 2 or 3 people, it's also difficult, of course, but you have people to share your concerns or also money-wise, risks, consequences and stuff like that. But when you're totally alone, it's like you're going out with a message, you carry 100% of the consequences, and I think it just needs a little bit more or self-confidence to then really do the step, and it took me quite a while to really notice or realize that I really want to do this. I'm 30 or a bit older, and that I have the energy now, I have the time, I have the backpack, I have the knowledge, and I'm ready to do it. And it took me a year to really realize that, and then yeah, I started.
and how is it to imagine you found a company? What are the first steps? You sit down with a empty desk, and then I mean,
yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I still don't know how really to do it. You just have to start somewhere, and for every, I guess it's different from person to person. I mean, for me, it was like what I did is to really start for myself. Is I just rented an office and put a desk in there and sat there the first couple of weeks, months, and was thinking like, okay, let's start. And then you start somewhere. You need a name, and then somewhere you need a design. You want to do a brand, and suddenly you have the first contact, maybe to an investor, to a building, and you have to get into this flow as quickly as possible. That you see you go on, and then suddenly it starts to come from its own. You have this task to do, this task, this task, and then you actually don't really think about it anymore too much. But the first months, of course, you look on what you really have to do and where to do it. And luckily with my background, I had already a big network, and you also need a little bit of luck, and I got to a really cool project which was not too big and not too small, and good for me to start. Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking already about the first project. In the first year, you managed to get 2 projects, right?
Yes.
That's like, I was in the first year.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That was that's correct. Yeah. And actually 2 really cool projects. One with 16 apartments in Basel, which we will talk about, which we opened a couple of months ago, and the second one with 13 apartments, which are a good size also when you start alone, like a 70 flat building or 90 just at the beginning, when you don't have the base, you don't have the people, you don't have resource. It's really good because you still have time aside to really build the brand, build the services around it. And I think I was also lucky, but at the end, it definitely also has to do with what we did before, and so and I'm really glad we could actually do that. Yeah.
All right. Maybe just one question related to this. What was the most challenging moment during this first year? You had ever the feeling, man, I'm gonna break it up. I don't do it again. It's too much, or I don't feel the drive? Or was it always like a rocket starting and you always felt good in your skin?
Until now, I must say yes. I didn't really feel that well before, because I wasn't sure, should I start, should I not? But since I made the decision to really start and I signed the lease contract of this office,
you need to get a bit closer.
I knew this is gonna be it, and I have to give everything into it, and this is what I am concentrating on, and everything else is less important.
Yeah, important.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for founding. That's the reason actually why we're sitting here. Really nice, especially to have now a podcast about this. Maybe we can forward to the second
point.
topic.
Welcome back, Raphael. I mean, for the people out there who don't know, Raphael and me have worked together for a long time. I met him when he was still like an apprentice. He was like, I don't know, how old are you?
18,
17,
18,
18, like a little kid. And we started, we came along really well. At the beginning, of course, you still were in school. We just did a little work together, but we always had, I think, the same interest in service departments. And this kept on going for since 10 years now. And after we quit our jobs in 2019-20, you also, I think, had enough of the industry. I think you wanted to go away, right? Or how was it?
I was fed up. No, yeah, a bit. I would say that's true. I mean, it was always in my mind that I'd like to do a longer travel to see a bit the world. Unluckily, COVID interrupted this a bit, but when I quit at apartments, I also had no plan what to do, and we started traveling, me and my girlfriend and I, and we went through whole Europe, what was possible, mostly for climbing reason. So we have been in Corsica, Sardinia, and all the way down to Greece. Was a really nice time, and during this period I really had the time to let everything a bit think, and also think about my future. And during this period I never thought that I will be back in the industry so fast, although I really missed the relation we have with our guests. I mean, that's something really special. You meet a lot of people, you have a lot of conversations, very interesting people, And yeah, I think during my travel, this was not something what I missed, because I met a lot of people. But when I was back and I started a job in the energy industry, I recognized, oh man, that's really not my job. It's not very people related, the business. Energy is something completely else than hospitality. It's energy, you can touch it, and it's so it was good. I started there a job. It was good for the moment, but after 3 months, a bit longer than you worked for a day, you said. I worked for 3 months.
But tell me now, I mean, then I came like after couple of months when Wow Living started. I had the 2 projects in my pocket. I knew I need some resources. I need somebody good. We didn't have contact for a year, which was the longest for a while. And I wrote you a text message, menu complete. Build up a business. What did you think, or why did you decide to do what you are doing now?
Yeah, good question. No, it was I think we met once in the city for a coffee by accident, more or less.
Yeah, I remember.
And there I first told you about my concerns at the job, and that I'm really unhappy and I probably gonna quit. And after this, you sent me this message. My first thing was, holy shit, really? Yes, let's do it. It was from the first moment really good energy. Again, also between us two. And I discussed it quickly with my family, or especially with Michelle. And for me, there was damn clear, crystal clear that I gonna do this.
So cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same energy, and I mean, now you're here nearly 5 months. It's like time flies by. And what do you think? Like, what do you think? Wow Living now in this time you have been here. Where does it go, or what do you like about it? What do you like about the brand? Like, what's
I like our hybrid creative director. No, I mean, a brand. First of all, I was a bit concerned about the name Wow Living. Wow, why wow? But with the time, wow, this wow moments, it made really sense to me. And the first time in my life, I was standing up in the morning and was like, come on, let's go to work. And it doesn't felt really like going to work. It was going to a place where I meet good people, where I can build something, I can bring in my ideas and put them right into work. So it's not a long discussion, it's like hands-on and start. And I really felt this startup energy. And from the first day, it was really cool, actually. It was really... And now, I mean, in the first days, it was like we had no emails, we had no apartments opening. Then the first project came closer, and it was really, okay, now it's starting. It's
and I mean, with this, I can also like announce here officially, right, that... You are, since a couple of weeks now, also co-owner of Wow Living and partner of me, which I'm really happy to have you on board. And I think this is something we were looking to. We always, like, we never thought it will happen, I think, in the past 1-2 years, but it was something, a wish of us for many years. And I think we could realize this step now, and it feels like the journey begins. So really, congratulations.
Thank you
and I'm
so
happy
much.
To work with you.
Yeah, for me, it was always like, I said it to myself, when I'm going back to the industry, it is my first goal that I'm owning this business or co-owning. That was really important for me because, you know, after these 3 weeks, the feeling is completely different if you're employed or if you're co-owner. I mean, it's something else. The joy of a new request, the joy of a good conversation with an investor. when you're not owning, it's something else. You're also happy, but the satisfaction, something else. And I think you can't.
You always needed that.
Yeah, you can't describe this feeling. Actually, you really have to do it.
Yeah.
To know how it is. Also, the side of the responsibility. I mean, that's the. When it works, then it's all happy and good. But I remember a time when we had for around a week no requests, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I slept bad and never had this before, this feeling. And then I realized, okay, this is the other side of owning something. Now get your ass up and do something that we can change this. And luckily now we have those requests back and I have a good sleep again. But yeah, that was a really good experience, and I enjoy being part of the story now.
Cool. So fantastic. Let's get back to business, right? We have our stories now here. Let's come to our first project, Wow Living Service Departments. What does that mean? I think it's great to talk around it on a real project, which we opened in November. Last year, Basel, our first house. We have never been in the market, Basel, actually.
Nope.
It's new. We opened our first house, 16 apartments. You want to tell us a few things about the house, about the product, the services, what makes it special, and yeah.
Basel, yeah, it's a new market for us too. I mean, we have been in Zurich. We had a big project there with smart apartments, Zug and Lucerne. And Basel, it felt good from the first moment, actually. The building is pretty nice. We got a new building there, new apartments, all apartments in one building, which is 16 of them. You have a lot of synergies. The concept all is focused on temporary living. On our concept, we can do the entrance and stuff. The whole process is in one building. You know, from check-in to check-out, storage room, and it just makes sense. And Basel is a really interesting city, I would say. You have a lot of international companies, but you also have like a lot of culture with Messe Basel, theater, all those museums and stuff. And of course, sport is also a big topic in that city. I really liked it.
So and now, like when we look at this apartment, or let's say a guest comes to Basel, like into our apartment, what do they like? What's the wow moments you think are the most are the greatest or most special also next to? I mean, we have furnished apartments, we have a kitchen, we have a bed. I mean, that's pretty much each service apartment has that these days. But what do you think makes it special to live in a Wow Living apartment there in this house?
Yeah, I think the wow experience even starts a bit earlier when you send the request. You get in an offer within 30 minutes and it's really personal. That's wow. That we call them, we look together what is the best solution for them. And then once you arrive, you have a self-check-in box, which makes it super flexible for you. You can check in even if you arrive Sunday morning at 2 a.m. and you had a long travel behind you, then you just can self-check in, and the next working day we will do the personal check-in.
Is there a reason why you don't do it when they just
arrive? Yeah, I mean, we could also be there at 2 a.m. in the morning. That wouldn't be a problem for us, I think. But man, when you have...
They just don't want it, right?
No, they don't want it. Imagine you have traveled for 12 hours. You're super tired, and then somebody explains you how to recycle cardboard in Switzerland. I mean, you don't listen.
Yeah.
And so I think it makes much more sense if we do that the next working day. Then they also have a lot of more questions, which you can clearly answer them. Take your time, say hello, show them around, show them the best bars, restaurants in the neighborhood. And
it's also like to have a face and to
voila.
You're the first person actually in this country who you know. And I think maybe when I can come in here for all these technical stuff and how to use a washing machine and everything, we have our Wow guide, which is like an online platform which with our QR, with you can come in with a QR code. And there you have like all the devices in the apartment on 3D. You can like just press on it. You have the terms and how to use it and the instructions, and you can like how to use the Sonos or the Frame TV or the cleaning dates and everything. You can actually find pretty easy. I think it's not like to tell them always the same information. I think it's also from guest to guest really different. Just to meet each other and to see the needs, if they need more security or they have questions from the surroundings or how long they live here, do they have to find a permanent apartment or not, just to be here for the important things and not to always like tell them how to or where to find something. I think these days the digital platforms are exactly the right tool for it. And I also think in anyway in business processes that's a big challenge to place the digital processes there where they have to be and not to take away the personal touch, right?
Yeah, and you said yesterday, I think it was, you said something really interesting. You said, and which makes absolutely sense to me. Nowadays, it's important to be on one side digital and on the other hand personal. And being personal in the topics which needs personality, and in other topics you don't need personality. People feel more comfortable to have it digital, unpersonal. Like you said,
exactly.
I mean, I don't need to be there and read through a manual of how to use an espresso machine. Everybody can do it by themselves.
Exactly. And you told me, because I mean maybe I have to explain, because we were like, what's Wow Living? And it's like the three keywords is like it's flexible, it's digital and personal. And you were like, yeah, but digital and personal, isn't that the opposite? And that's exactly where I think the main point is, or where you have to think about where do we have to be personal these days and where is the digital part needed. And yeah.
Maybe to come quickly back to your question in the beginning about the house, I'd like to give some insights of how it is there. Our building is located at the Kannenfeldplatz. That's in the center of Basel, 5 minutes from the train station and about 8 minutes from the airport. So you're pretty well connected.
Pretty good
there.
location, huh?
It is. Good job. And you have all what you need in your neighborhood. I mean, on the opposite side of the street, you have supermarkets, you have drugstores, everything which is important for daily life. And to get back to those wow moments, something I first loved about it a little bit is our Wow e-scooter, because I'm a passionate bicycle rider, and I was like, an electronical scooter. Maybe you tell us a bit more about what's the idea behind about this Wow scooter.
Well, I was always thinking about, before we opened our first house or a few months before, like you just always think about what services you can provide, and since a few years I have in my head like the mobility of these people is quite difficult when they arrive. Of course we have good public transport and this or that, but even at the beginning it takes a couple of days or weeks until you know how it works with getting the ticket, going there, which number you have to take,
language
and
barriers.
And Switzerland cities are very small, and you're actually and you're very the mobility is very easy, like you have short distances and I was on holidays like 1 year ago in Stockholm and with my girlfriend, with Fabienne, and we explored the whole city in 3-4 days with the scooters, which are very popular there, the public scooters. And then I at night, as always, I had kind of the idea this could be actually a very something special to give to our guests, to give them mobility from day one, because it's kind of they are not so. I mean, they're not so expensive as a bike or a car, and you don't need that much space also, and it's easy for everyone to use, and I think it's nice when you have your personal like gadget, which you can just explore the neighborhood. You can go to work on the first day pretty easy. You can just put the Google Maps on and go there. You don't have to get a plan or a ticket, and it's just here from day one and very comfortable. And as we see now, it's the people love it, and I think this is a very, very important tool also from our service.
Definitely.
To as extension to the service apartment.
I just had the chance today. I had a check-in in Basel, and I had a family there, and I mean, they were super surprised about the e-scooter, and they were like, "Oh wow, super!" They know it from Amsterdam.
Oh yeah,
it's very popular there, and they were super happy to have it because they thought about getting a bike, and now this problem is solved. So I think it's definitely something more than just a marketing tool. It's really something useful for our guest, and it's included in the rent. We have to say that. So it's nothing extra. That's also maybe a little bit one point of our wow spirit, wow concept, that our prices are flat.
Yes.
So also in Basel, if you have
no surprises at the checkout.
Voila, that's it. Imagine like when you stay in a hotel and in the end you pay double as planned. You
always get a bill.
You always get that.
Exactly.
Not with us. No, I think that's really really important to our guest.
Let's come to our last point a bit, like from how is it running? Is it running well? Maybe I can I can say like I think it started really well. Or what do you think? Like at the beginning, we came out, like for us it's first time in the market. We had to get to know the people, the companies. We didn't know them like at other cities we are, but I think it started really well. And then the pandemic, the second wave, third wave, I think it was, Omicron came, and we had this home office. You had to do home office. You were not allowed to go to work. I think I realized that. Or what do you think? I think this was why should you take people here, especially in small apartments like studios and one bedroom apartments, when they have to work after in a small studio?
Yeah, I see it the same way. I think although we had a pretty good start there, we have to say, but
I mean, we're happy.
We're happy. Hopefully, I think our investors as well. But the pandemic, of course, I mean, still nowadays, on the side of Germany, we are still a high-risk land, Switzerland. We don't have to forget that.
That's true,
and, yes, we recognized that the home office duty is alive, and I think a lot of companies say they stay in Stockholm, stay wherever you are, and you can work from there. Then we don't have to get you an apartment. It's always a matter of financial resources. They could save a lot of money, but still, I think it's cool to have your employees close around. It's another feeling. If they come to your city and they work there.
Yeah, I mean, now since it's over, I mean, we see also more movement again in the market. And I think we can say now, after our 3-4 months, also over the year end, which is also not even always easy, we can say we are full and happy. And I think we can leave this as a little end word, that we are
Basel is running.
Very excited that the house is up and running, our first house, which is always a bit special also, I would say. And we are very looking forward to our second house. Maybe this is a little teaser for the next episode. I guess this will be definitely be a topic once. Zug, right? Yeah.
Back to
opening
Zug.
On the 15th of April. Still a lot of construction work going on. It's a new building which is built, and we are looking forward to coming back to Zug, I must say, not starting new, right?
Yes, and reactivating our business relations there. That's also a really good feeling
Cool,
to
yeah.
get back to those people. Yeah, really looking forward.
So stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, it was a pleasure
Yeah.
to have this conversation.
I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more,
You're here